Like Rebecca said, my name is Rachel, and I am the Outreach Coordinator for Rivers and Lands Conservancy. And most of us, I think, on the call might know a little bit about Rivers and Lands Conservancy, but in case we have any newbies in the group, Rivers and Lands Conservancy is a nonprofit organization. Specifically, we are a land trust that works to connect our community to the natural, wild, and open spaces of Southern California through programs of land conservation, stewardship, and education. And we were established in 1989, originally as Riverside Land Conservancy. And we fairly recently, I think about 4 or 5 years ago, went through a name change. We are now Rivers and Lands Conservancy to better represent our larger geographic reach throughout the Southern California region. In our 31 years, or almost 31 years, we've been instrumental in conserving a little over 14,000 acres of open space throughout the region. A little bit about me. You might be wondering, why are we doing yoga? This is a land trust. What's the connection there? In addition to my educational background in environmental studies and environmental education, I am also a certified yoga instructor. And I think that I was drawn to both conservation and yoga because of, well, many reasons, but one of them is this sense of peace and calm that both of them provide to me. Being out in nature really helps to relax me. Same thing with yoga. I'm sure many of you have seen articles that cite mounting scientific studies about how spending time outside in nature, just even 15 minutes, a simple walk outside, can really have positive impacts on both your mental and physical well-being. And the same thing is true of practicing yoga. And so when you can combine those two, if you're lucky enough to combine those two, you really get a double dose of goodness. Chemicals are actually released in your brain that literally make you feel happier. There's reduced stress, reduced anxiety, improved cognitive health, a boost to your immune system. The list goes on and on of all these really wonderful things. So that is why we are here this evening. I'm hoping to share a little bit of that goodness with you tonight. All right, so a little bit of housekeeping items before we get started. I believe Rebecca has spotlighted me, which means my screen or my video should be the largest one that you're seeing in the box here. It makes it easier just to follow along as we go through the movements. If that's not the case, you should be able to tap on my video and choose the option that says pin. And by pinning my video, it should make it the largest one on the screen. No worries if that's not the case. It just helps to go through the movements a little bit better. All right, in terms of our setup, if you have a yoga mat, awesome. If you don't have a yoga mat, no worries. You can use a blanket or a towel, or if you're outside, maybe you're on some nice swishy grass or in the sand. It is a gazillion degrees outside, so you may be inside like I am with the fan going and the AC going. If you are inside your home, please make sure you have enough space around you so that you can really stretch your arms out and your legs out, and you won't hit anything like the sharp edge of a coffee table or a pet food bowl or something like that. If you are outside, please make sure you haven't unintentionally set up on top of an anthill or situated underneath a tree so that when you stand up, you're gonna bonk your head. Just be really aware of your surroundings so that you are in a safe spot. And then thirdly and finally, this is a little bit different for me because I am not obviously physically there with you guys to help guide you through your practice. So I'm really depending on you to listen to your body and do what feels good for you. I'm going to go through a variety of poses, some of which may work and feel really great, some might not. So if something isn't feeling right for you for whatever reason, you can modify or you can totally skip it. Maybe you hug your knees into your chest, maybe you press back into a child's pose, maybe you just hold your standing position like so if we are on our feet. So I'm really depending on you to make those choices. Nothing should ever hurt. It may be challenging, but nothing should hurt. So make sure you listen to your body. All right, I'm gonna give everybody about 30 seconds here to find your space. Once again, you might be on a mat, you might be just on your carpet, maybe you're getting situated outside, finding that safe spot for you. Maybe you have some water nearby. Like I said, it's really warm today, so make sure you're taking care of yourself, staying hydrated. All right, hopefully everybody is in their yoga spot for the evening. We're gonna go ahead and start in a seated position. Now, if being seated on the floor doesn't work for you, no worries. Grab a chair, maybe you sit on your couch here for the seated portions. There's always modifications you can take. If you're able to take a seat, we'll go ahead and come all the way down. And I'm gonna find a crisscross position here. If you are an experienced yoga practicer, perhaps you find half lotus or full lotus, which means you're taking one foot on top of the opposite thigh. For full lotus, I would bring that other one on top as well for that full kind of pretzel position. That doesn't feel so good for my knees right now, so I'm gonna stick with crisscross. Maybe your legs are extended out. Find what feels comfortable. Let's take those palms to either the front or the tops of those knees. Let's close your eyes. And just start those nice deep breaths. On those inhales, lifting up through the crown of the head. And on those exhales, releasing all that air from deep in the belly. Inhale, grow a little bit taller. And exhale, relax those shoulders from the ears. Couple more breaths here. Just taking these moments to center ourselves, to bring ourselves into the present moment. Starting our 4-count breaths, listening to my cues, we inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Repeat. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Resume those natural breaths. Continuing to grow as tall as you can on those inhales. Softening through the jaw on those exhales. And go ahead and open those eyes if you have closed them. Let's reach that right arm long out in front and point the fingertips down towards the floor. Use that left palm to increase the stretch by gently pressing down on that palm, getting that nice extension through the wrists. Feels extra nice if you've been perhaps working on a keyboard all day. One more breath here. Relax the shoulders from the ears. And then reverse that move. Point the fingertips up to the ceiling. Once again, use that left palm. This time you draw the fingers back towards you, finding that flexion through the wrists. Nice deep breaths. And switching sides, reach the left arm out, point the fingertips down to the floor. Use that right palm to assist your stretch, gently pressing back onto that palm. Deep breaths on this side. Never forcing our stretches, just gently easing into them. Let's reverse it. Left fingers point up. Use the right palm, assisting that stretch. Fingertips draw back toward you. And release. Reach both arms long in front and simply circle through the wrists. And reverse directions. And hold those palms still through center and relax those arms by those hips. Taking one palm down to your side, inhale, the opposite arm lifts, and exhale, side stretch, up and over. Inhale, lift, return that spine through center, and exhale, switch, side stretch, up and over in the opposite direction. Inhale, lift through center, waking up the back here. We exhale, side stretch up and over. Inhale, lift through center. Maybe you only go over a couple inches. Exhale, switch sides. Maybe that supporting elbows all the way down. Find what works for you. Inhale, bring it back through center and hold. And relax those palms down. Once again, taking those palms to the front or the tops of the knees. Let's look to your left. And back through center. Switch, look to your right. And through center. Look to your left and hold. Nod that chin down towards the shoulder, deepening that stretch through the neck muscles. Lift that chin and return through center. Switch directions, looking to the right and hold. Nod that chin down towards the shoulder. Nice deep breaths here. And lift that chin, return through center. Let the left ear melt over to the left shoulder, keeping those shoulders relaxed and down. And lift through center. Switch, right ear melts over. Nice deep breaths. Letting that tension melt off. And lift back through center. Adding on. Left ear melts over to the left shoulder. Now nod that chin down towards the chest. Circle through the neck. The right ear comes to the right shoulder. And return back through center. Switch, right ear melts over and hold. And then nod that chin towards the chest, half circle around. Left ear, left shoulder, through center and hold. Let's do that one more time. Left ear to left shoulder. Nod that chin, half circle down, right ear, right shoulder. Lift through center. Last time, right ear to right shoulder. Nod that chin, half circle. Left ear, left shoulder, through center, and hold. Nice job, you guys. Let's bring those legs around and come to what we call 4-point tabletop, or sometimes quadruped position. Going into our cat-cow stretches, this is a staple for yoga. Inhale, arch the spine and lift the gaze, really letting the belly melt down towards the floor. On that exhale, nod that chin towards the chest, round the back, and really press the mat away. Inhale, we arch the spine and lift the gaze, reaching forward with the heart. And exhale, we round, pressing that floor away, really letting that head hang heavy. 2 more times. Inhale, we arch. And exhale, we round. One more time, inhale, we arch. And exhale, we round. Finding that nice flat back position. Palms are underneath those shoulders. Knees are underneath those hips. Take an inhale. Extend that right arm long in front in line with the shoulder. And exhale, gently lower that right palm down. Switching sides. Inhale, left arm extends. If you can, it's in line with the ear. And exhale, lower. If not, like mine is not, I have tight shoulders. Maybe it's only a few inches off. Let's repeat. Inhale, right arm reaches. Exhale, lower. Last time. Inhale, left arm reaches. And exhale, lower. Moving on to the legs. Inhale, right leg stretches behind you. And we float it up just to about hip height or whatever height works for you. And exhale, lower it down and bend it back to that 4-point table. Switching sides. Inhale, left leg reaches back. Floats up to that height that works for you. And exhale, lower down and bend it back in. One more each side. Inhale, right leg reaches and lifts. Exhale, lower. Bend it back in. Last one. Inhale, left leg reaches and lifts. Exhale, lower and bend it in. Now you can stay with singles if you like, alternating between the arms and the legs. Or if you're joining me, inhale, extend the right arm and the left leg in opposition. Nice spine extension here. And exhale, gently lower the palm and the toes, and then return back to your tabletop. Inhale, switch sides. Left arm, right leg reach in opposition. Or you're staying with singles, your choice. And exhale, gently lower it down. One more, each side. Inhale, we extend. Imagine somebody pulling the fingers and the toes. And exhale, gently lowering down. Last one. Inhale, we reach. And exhale, we lower. Tuck those toes under. Take an inhale as you lift those hips towards the sky for our down dog stretch. We have that nice pyramid shape with the body for that upside down V. Hips are up nice and high. The chest is melting low as you spread the fingers and you spread those toes. Nice deep breaths here. And then gently and carefully begin to walk the palms and the feet together in a forward fold stretch. Head hangs heavy. You're relaxing that space in between the shoulders. And then soften those knees. Tuck that tailbone under as you begin to roll yourself up to a standing position, one vertebra at a time. Be very careful if you have any blood pressure issues. You want to come up nice and slow to those standing positions. I'm just going to turn diagonal so you can see me a little bit better. Feet are parallel, about hip-bone distance apart. You're really spreading those toes. You're really anchoring through those heels. Let's roll those shoulders for 3 and 2 and 1. Reverse directions for 1 and 2 and 3. Hold it here. Interlace the fingers in front of the chest and press those palms away. Keep that space around the neck, the shoulders gliding down. Try to increase that space in between the shoulder blades as you lengthen those palms away from the chest. One more breath here. And gently release. Now interlace the fingers to the low back and extend those arms long behind you. This time we'll feel the collarbones spread wide. Still keeping that nice space around the neck. Shoulders relaxing down. One more breath. Maybe those arms lift a little higher. This one's extra nice if you've been sitting at a desk or hunched over a keyboard all day. And gently release. Arms come down by your sides. I'm going to turn a little bit more so you can see better. Let's reach those right fingers up towards the ceiling. And hinge through the left side. Let the left palm travel down the leg. As you gaze down those left fingers, nice side stretch here. Adding on to that beginning seated position. Bring yourself back to your center and lower the right fingers down. Switching sides. Inhale, the left fingers float up. And exhale, we hinge through the right side. Right palm slides down the right thigh. Eye gaze down to those right fingers. And bring it back through center. One more each side. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, slide down that left thigh. And bring it back through center. Last one, inhale, left arm lifts. Exhale, slide down the right thigh. And bring it back through center. Going into our sun salutations, one of my favorite sequences here. If this is too much for you, modify as need be. Maybe you hold your standing. Maybe you press back into that child's pose. If you are following me, feet are squeezed all the way together and you're at the front edge of your space this evening. Inhale, sweep those arms overhead. Maybe eye gaze follows. And on your exhale, reach the arms wide as you swan dive all the way down into a forward fold. Inhale, find that flat back. Maybe fingertips are touching the floor. Maybe they're hovering like mine. Maybe they're to the tops of the thighs. And on that exhale, place weight into the palms as you step back into a plank position. If plank is too much, you can modify and step back to your down dog stretch. On your inhale, we lift to our up dog. Few options. You can drop the knees and let those hips melt forward. You can lower through your push-up position. That's super advanced. It doesn't work for my shoulders. I simply roll over the toes and let those hips melt all the way down. This is our up dog. You're reaching forward with the heart. Nice back stretch here. And then tuck the toes as you lift the hips to your down dog. Deep breaths here on those inhales, hips lifting nice and high. Exhale, chest melting low. On your next breath, begin to walk those feet forward towards that front edge of your space again. Tuck that tailbone under, soften the knees as you roll yourself all the way up to standing. Hopefully that worked for most of us. We're going to do that 2 more times. So feet are squeezed together. Inhale, float the arms overhead. Eye gaze can follow if you like. Be mindful of your balance. Exhale, arms reach wide as you swan dive all the way down. Inhale to that flat back. Maybe fingertips hover, maybe palms to the thighs. Exhale, melt it forward, place weight into the palms, stepping back to your plank, or maybe you're down dog, or maybe you're holding standing. Find what works for you. Inhale, up dog. I'm going to roll over my toes. You can choose to drop the knees first. You can lower through your push-up, or what we call chaturanga, if that works for you. And then tuck the toes as you inhale, lift the hips to that down dog stretch. Nice deep breaths here. Trying to lift up and out of the wrists. Relax that space through the shoulders and the neck. And on your next breath, begin to walk those feet forward. Maybe you stop midway on your mat. Maybe you can come all the way forward. Find what works for you. Soften those knees. Tuck that tailbone under. Roll yourself up to standing. One vertebra at a time. We have one more. Feet squeezed together. Inhale, float the arms overhead. And exhale, swan dive all the way forward. Inhale, find that flat back. Exhale, step back to your plank or maybe that down dog stretch. Maybe you're holding down dog. Inhale to your up dog. I roll over my toes. You can drop the knees first. You can lower through your push-up. Then tuck the toes, lift the hips. Nice down dog stretch. Deep breaths. Maybe your heels are pressed down into the floor. Maybe they're not. Either way is fine. And then gently walk the feet and the palms back together, finding your forward fold. We soften the knees, we tuck that tailbone under, and roll ourselves up one vertebra at a time. Nice job, you guys. Going into a balance challenge, I'm going to turn diagonally so you can see me a little bit better. Let's bring those palms heart center. Really stabilize through the left leg as you begin to float your right leg up into tree. Now maybe you simply lift the heel. You can get a nice foot stretch here as you press into those toes. If you feel like you're up for a greater balance challenge, maybe you float that foot up to the calf. If your flexibility allows and your balance allows, maybe that foot comes to the inner thigh. Nice deep breaths wherever you are in your balance. Maybe you sway a little bit, that's fine. Maybe you reach both arms up for that full tree pose. Reaching those limbs up to the sky. Nice deep breaths wherever you are, feeling lightness through the body. Pulling the corners of your mouth up towards the ears, aka smile. I had a teacher tell me that once, it totally stuck. I like that cue. And let's go ahead and bring those palms back to heart center if they are not already there. And gently lower your right foot down to the mat. Let's take those feet parallel about hip distance and arms come down to your sides for mountain pose. Spread those toes. Press down through the heels. Draw those thigh muscles up and away from the knees. Squeeze the glutes. Draw that belly button in. Reach those fingertips down towards the floor. Slightly nod that chin to feel length through the back of the neck, while at the same time you lift up through the crown of the head. Every muscle is firing through the body. And then gently relax. Maybe wiggle out through those muscles here. Switching sides, palms come heart center once more. As we go into our tree pose on the left side. Maybe you simply lift the heel. You can get that nice foot stretch. I like to linger here a little bit. Maybe you take that foot up to the calf. Or maybe all the way up to that inner thigh. Nice deep breaths wherever you are in your balance. I always recommend not looking at the teacher on balances. I might fall over at any moment. If you fall over, no worries. Come back and join us again. You can reach those arms up if you like. Maybe taking those branches up to the sky. Feeling lightness through the body. One more deep breath wherever you are. And then bringing those palms back to heart center. Gently releasing that left foot to the floor. Arms come down to your sides, recentering one more time in that mountain pose. Press down through the heels. Spread those toes. Fire all those leg muscles. Squeeze the glutes. Engage those core muscles. Drop the shoulders. Reach down through those fingertips. Lift through the crown of the head. Every muscle is firing through the body. And then gently release. Maybe wiggle out through those shoulders and those legs. Coming down to a seated position here. You can come down to your mat however you need to. If you want to follow me, little strength and balance challenge. I like to cross my right foot over my left. Genie those arms like so. And then gently lower yourself all the way down. Easier said than done, I know. Let's bend those legs, take those feet flat. Palms come behind the thighs. Inhale, grow as tall as you can. And on that exhale, find a C curve through the spine as you lower down just about halfway. Inhale, hold it here. And on that exhale, bring yourself forward, maintaining that curve, shoulders stack over the hips, and then lengthen and stack that spine. Exhale, find that C curve, lower down just about halfway. And bring yourself forward, inhale, stack the spine, grow tall. Last time, lower down just about halfway and hold. And then use that core strength to help you as you take it the rest of the way to the mat. Once you reach the mat, stretch those arms overhead. Stretch those legs long away. Reach through the fingers. Reach through those toes. Imagine somebody pulling you in opposite directions. Let the ribs pop. Let the back arch. Whew, this one always makes me yawn. Nice deep breaths. And gently release the intensity of your stretch here. Take those arms down by the hips. Bend that right leg, foot flat to the mat. Bend that left leg, foot flat to the mat. And hug that right knee into the chest here. Just gently allowing that knee to come in towards the body. Let those collarbones spread wide and the backs of the shoulders melt down into the mat or whatever surface you are on. And let's extend that right leg up towards the sky. Maybe palms come behind your thigh. Maybe the calf, maybe all the way to the ankle. If you need to keep that leg bent, that's totally fine. Find that stretch that works for you. Nice deep breaths wherever you are. With every exhale, think about that right leg coming in a little bit closer. And then circle through that right ankle. And reverse those circles. And hold that ankle still through center. Maybe you draw that right leg in a little bit closer. And then release the intensity of that stretch. We'll take that right foot on top of that left knee and press your right knee away from you. This is a nice variation of pigeon pose. Nice stretch through that right hip, those right glute muscles. That right knee continues to press away. If you have a lot of flexibility and you'd like to add on, you can draw that left knee in closer to you as you interlace those fingers behind that left thigh. Now finding opposition in your stretch as that left knee comes in a little bit closer. And you continue to press that right knee away. Couple more breaths. And gently release that left foot back to the floor if it's not already there. Let those arms open out to a T position. Fingertips lengthening from the shoulders, and let that right leg cross all the way over the left. Let both legs drift over to the left side for a spine twist. Eye gaze can turn to face the right fingers, or continue to face the sky, your choice here. Maybe those legs only drift over a couple inches. Maybe they're all the way to the floor. Somewhere in between, any of those options are great. One more deep breath. And then think about those core muscles helping you to return yourself back through center, protecting your back. Uncross that right leg, foot flat to the mat, arms come back down to your sides. Hug that left knee into the chest this time. Let it hang out here for a moment. Let the backs of the shoulders melt down. And then extend that left leg towards the sky. Maybe palms behind the thigh. Maybe the calf, maybe the ankle. Maybe that leg stays bent. With every exhale, allow that left leg to come in a little bit closer. And then circle through that left ankle. And reverse those circles. And hold that leg still through center, maybe draw it in a little bit closer. And gently release the intensity of that stretch as you fold the left leg. That left foot rests on top of the right knee as that left knee presses away. This time getting a stretch through that left hip. Those left glute muscles. Optional. Right knee can come in closer to you as you lift that right foot from the floor. Once again, finding opposition as the right knee draws in and that left knee continues to press away. Deep breaths wherever you are in your stretch. And gently release that right foot down to the mat if it's not already there. Cross that left leg all the way over. Open those arms to your T position and allow those legs to drift over to the right. Spine twist on the opposite side. You can turn through the neck to gaze at those left fingers. Or maybe you stay looking to the sky. Find what feels good for your neck. Maybe those legs drift over just a couple inches, or maybe they're all the way down to the floor. One more breath wherever you are. And then once again, thinking about those core muscles to help return your body back through center. Uncross that left leg, foot flat to the mat. Going into our last pose. Stretch that right leg long away. Stretch that left leg long away. Open those legs about mat distance apart. Bring those arms down by your sides, maybe about a foot from the body. Rotate from the shoulders so that the palms face the ceiling. Take a moment to flex through those ankles. Send energy out through the bottoms of the feet. And then relax. Allow those toes to naturally open out to the sides. Let that relaxation travel up through the legs and into the hips. Take a moment to fire out through those fingertips, energy lengthening those arms, inching those shoulders from the ears. And then relaxing those arms down. Take the tongue away from the teeth. Close the eyes. Quiet the eyelids. Going into our Shavasana or final resting pose. 1 minute here, my friends, just melting into the mat, continuing those deep breaths. Let's wiggle the fingers and wiggle those toes. Roll over to a side, bending at the knees. Just resting into those waist muscles for a breath. And then gently begin to press yourself up through center, letting the head be the last thing to return. Finding your comfortable seated position, perhaps it's the same one that you started in. Hopefully we are all here in the seated position. We'll finish with an inhale, floating those arms overhead. And exhale, drawing those palms heart center. Thanks for joining, you guys. Namaste.